So I've been slacking on bringing my camera. Well, I've been bringing it, but it's not setting up my tripod and camera and all that at practices, so I don't have any practice footage for the past couple weeks. But I'm just going to briefly talk about a couple of things that I did along with my normal sumo practice, Jiu Jitsu, sparring stuff. I also had the opportunity to referee a mixed martial arts event in Cadillac, and that went really well. The promoters were happy with me. The fighters all walked away safely. So that was really my big goal, keep everyone safe as the referee, and then hope that the promoters were happy at all my decisions. So that worked out well. And then this past weekend, I competed in a kickboxing tournament, a point kickboxing tournament, and I had originally signed up for point Muay Thai, just figuring being able to clinch and sweep would have been a little more advantageous for me, just with a wrestling background. But there was no one at my weight in the novice Muay Thai division, and actually no one at my weight in the novice division at all. So I got moved up to a more advanced division, which I'll include the footage of that. But it ended up being a good experience, and I got to go with Manesis, who competed in the full contact event. It was called Freestyle kickboxing with gloves similar to these, and it was really similar to the karate combat rule set, except it was in a ring instead of a weird pit, and there was no ground and pound. So I'll link his fight in the description, and I'll also link the footage from sumo practice from Kai in the description, because he captured all those matches, and there were quite a few of them. But overall, it was a good couple weeks. And I decided not to cut weight for the kickboxing event, because I noticed when I cut weight for Jiu Jitsu, I ended up bouncing back higher than I was. So I just decided to just stick with my normal diet, not worry about it, fight at whatever weight I was weighing. And so I went in, at the 185 weight class, and ended up losing, but felt like it was the first time I really lost and wasn't all mad and grumpy about it, because I didn't feel like I underperformed. So the guy was just much better than me, which you'll see. So my next competition I'm already on weight for. I was 186.8 this morning, and I have to be 187 point something. So the goal really isn't about weight loss. It's just about being in the best shape I can going into Sumo Nationals at the end of March. So enjoy the footage of me getting beat up, and as always, if you watch this for some reason, thank you. So this is at Fort Wayne, Indiana, at the Grand Wayne Center, and I have a kickboxing match here against David Hernandez, who is a very experienced martial artist. They brought us in just to do the matchmaking, and they asked, how long have I been training? A little while, and then he kind of chuckled and just said a long time, and he mentioned it was about 30 years. So right away, just based on him being about a foot taller than me, I started out in desperation mode. I knew since it was point and I wouldn't be putting a ton of power behind my punches and kicks that I could throw a lot of them. So I worked hard to get as close as I could to him, but as you can see, he could kick from all angles, all directions, good movement, and he did a very good job of tying me up when I got close, so the referee had to break it. I tried my best to move around and hit him as much as I could, but he kept me at a good distance, as you can see, and he did a good job of not backing straight up and cornering himself, but moving and circling away from me there. So, like I said earlier, they moved me up to a more advanced division just because that's who was there, and that's who I was able to spar against. But it ended up being a very good experience. He was, although you can see him kicking me a lot, he was super controlled, and none of them, yes, he was hitting me and hitting me and hitting me, but he was so under control that he wasn't kicking through me or anything like that. So I just tried to throw as much as I could at him and get as close as I could at all times while he tried to keep me away. It was only 2-minute rounds, and obviously I lost that one. I made some comments about how quick he was and how good he was, jokingly, and really I thought I got destroyed, but watching this back, I was a little closer than I thought. So overall, not so bad. I was happy to be able to compete, and I was also happy that my cardio held up for 4 straight minutes of throwing as much as I could at him. So that was all good. All positives on my end, despite the fact that you're going to see me lose, which is all right. But I did run into him later at the full contact event, and he said something to me. He's like, "Hey man, I don't know what you did, but I got a big old bruise on my foot." I just laughed at him and said, "Yeah man," because he kept kicking me in the head so much. But he said, "No, I think you blocked one with your elbow or something." So I guess that was all right. But here I am coming in, knowing I got to get close, trying to do it under control, time it right off of his misses, which were few and far between. There was one point where I apologized for kicking him low, and he just hit me 3 or 4 times while I did so. And then it was back to going in, trying to touch him as much as possible. Checking a few kicks, trying not to get pushed away, dodging the big ones and trying to come in after them. But as you can see, this just being a point competition, it wasn't about hitting or hurting. It was just about touching him and scoring. So I knew, even though he was much, much better than me, that I would be safe the whole time, and that kind of gave me the confidence to keep moving forward into his stuff. And as you see me throw as many things as possible, just to kind of touch him as much as I can. But this is very similar to what I experience at practice. A lot of guys taller than me moving away from me, and me trying to figure out a way to get in. As you see, I catch a knee to the face there, which, you know, whatever. But yeah, I just, you know, I gave it a shot. I tried it, and would definitely do more of these, train for more of these, just because I know it's I know it's a safe thing. I know I'm not going to get hurt too bad, and I know that it's something within my ability. So they had us go to our corner, because in the case that I happen to win this one, there would have been a 3rd round, like a tiebreaker round, but I knew what it was, so I started taking my stuff off. As they go to get the medals, I just, you know, tell them thank you. I was glad I was able to compete, and then shake his corner's hands, tell them thank you as well. And overall, good experience, a lot of fun. Clearly this is not my forte, but I gave it a shot. It was a lot, overall a fun trip being there, and got to make my debut in the corner as a cornerman later that night, which I'm 1-0 as a cornerman, so maybe that's my path. They do a weird thing where they announce me as winning 2nd place and not just the loser, so I guess I'll take it. I got to go home and show my kids that I got a medal, so whatever. Even though it's a participation medal, my kids thought it was cool. And like I said, a lot of fun, good experience. Recommend it for anyone who trains.